Hi, good morning. I'm back again. We're still talking on sports contract part two. Yeah, this morning we'll be talking about what are the contents of a sports contract. Now, first of all, every sports contract must contain the rights, duties, and responsibilities of both parties. That is to say, the employee and the employer. For instance, the manager and the agent and the athletes, the promoter and the manager, the promoter and the agent, the manager and the athletes and the promoter. All these are supposed to be enshrined in a sports contract. Then again, aside from that, we have before I go into that fully, we have three types of contract, not exhaustively defined, but we just name them like I said in my earlier video. We have the professional service contract. You have also you have appearance contract and also endorsement contract. These are all contracts that defines and play different roles in an athlete's career. Now, when you look at this contract, you find out that there are different terms and conditions that are involved in it, and most athletes are carried away immediately they start signing, or if they are told about a contract. And for example, if an athlete does not know how or is not literate enough to understand the content of the content of that particular contract, he or she needs to, like I will always reiterate, get in touch with someone who can explain each clause in that contract, because those clauses are the main ingredients of the contract. Those clauses are the main ingredients of the contract. Now, the clauses of this contract are so many that most times even an athlete will not be able to consummate and understand every of those clauses. If in some contract, especially in football and in boxing, there are long terms. There are so many conditions that are attached to these clauses that makes it feel as if an athlete is not really going to sign it. But if it's with proper interpretation and proper guidance, these terms are as easy as the day-to-day contract being signed by every person. Now, first of all, before we go ahead with this, the contract, everybody knows that a contract must have a title. The title defines it. The title will also contain the information clauses, the player service clause. It must also contain other clauses like revenue sharing, arbitration clause, travel expenses, remuneration, and other benefits. And also, it also contains the no tampering clause. Most time, no tampering clause, like most people don't really understand it, means a clause where that when that clause is in a position, it means simply means that you are not to tamper with other athletes. You know, for instance, I'm playing in Club A, and I'm trying to talk to another player. Let us go to Club B. You know, it's a no tampering clause, and above all, the remedies clause and the player restriction and hazardous clause. As far as I'm concerned, if these clauses are in a contract, there are more to it, not just these ones I mentioned. When these clauses are in the contract, it is for the benefit, especially of the athletes. Now, if we take them one after the other, I'm not going to take it like the way I mentioned them. I can pick them randomly, like the restriction clause or the hazardous clause, or even force majeure. Okay, termination clause, which is most important, because every contract must start on a particular day, the date of commencement and the date it will be terminated. This must be spelled out, especially in football where contracts run into years. Now, is there no review clause in that contract? If there is none, then that contract is as good as nothing. So there must be a review clause that every time you are into a transaction like that, the contract must be reviewed yearly because the economy of every country grows. You don't expect, for instance, the economy of XYZ country, if there is inflation for 1 year, 2 years, you're still living in that particular stage. No. At the next year of the contract, next contracting year, the renewal clause and review clause should be looked into. So, like I spoke earlier, I told you guys, I said, an athlete is a partner in progress. It's not just, though the word employee and employer is used because there must be a superior body. But in sports contract, both parties are working together harmoniously, I hope, for the benefit and the good of the sports club or state or country, as the case may be. So I'll come your way next time again to explain uh, each and every one of those clauses to you. Those are not the exhaustive clauses anyway in the contract. All contract will not, as a matter of fact, I'll let you understand, that all contract will not have the same terms and conditions. The terms and condition in a boxing contract is different from the terms and condition in a judo contract, in athletics contract, in football contract. So these are the things we're going to look at the next video that we'll make so that we'll pick the most important clauses and deal with them. So that at the end of the day, before you sign a contract as an athlete, you need to know the bottom line of what you are signing. You don't get yourself entangled in the case of a slave contract. In the case of after signing a contract, you also still continue to stay in penury. Where the contract is for your upliftment, like I usually tell athletes, the contract is for the betterment of your sporting career. I think we have to leave it there today. Have a great day and God bless you.